Hey guys, Andrew, welcome back to the media channel. So, guys, last night I finished off a TV series that had some mixed reviews online starring David Tennant, and it's Grace Point. And it is a American remake of the British crime thriller Broadchurch. Same premise, it didn't get continued for another series, and I can actually see why. So, it basically did not translate over to American audiences. Very similar plot points, basically the same plot point. The young boy found on the beach, and what happens to the town afterwards. We see instead of Alec Hardy, it's Emmett Carver, and he still has the same heart conditions. He still has a daughter. Sandbrook becomes Rosemont, and we can see that it is the same premise. He took the job to get away from the memories associated with that as well. But guys, when I was watching it, I saw a lot of good Australian actors, so plot points for the Aussies there. And the other thing I thought, if you hadn't seen one or other series, they're actually pretty good series. And the other thing, people are criticizing David Tennant's American accent, but it's a regional American accent that he's doing in that area. So that is something that we need to be very aware of. And I've got to say, some of the locations are absolutely beautiful and stunning. So, guys, some of the locations are Oak Bay in British Columbia, Greater Victoria, and Sydney as well. And, guys, there's some really, really great acting in there as well. Um, the other things that they've changed are the priest, instead of being an alcoholic and having a boy's prank go terribly wrong, it's Narcotics Anonymous. He was assaulted in a bar. And so it makes it a little more deeper as well. And we also see that they use the American justice system to much more of their advantage, where they're able to hold people a lot more, they're able to pressure people a lot more as well. But there is a few differences, but very much still the same. If you're David Tennant's fan, I'd say that's a pretty good reason for watching it. And also the dinner scene where Ellie, because they still have the detective where the job was earmarked for her being Ellie Miller, that we see where a lot of people have speculated Alec Hardy might have been a little bit autistic or suffering PTSD. We see that Emmett Carver holds back a lot more, and possibly with the heart condition. We do see he suffers the nightmares, but we don't see them as intense. We also see when his heart condition is found out, so he still has the heart condition, but they don't actually specify what it is. And instead of him simply collapsing, we do see that he has a full on heart attack as well. So, guys, you can see where if it was to continue, there was things that could deviate off as well. But we also do see that he can navigate, Emmett can navigate social situations. He can, but because he's sick of keeping the secrets about Rosemont, that it was actually not him who lost the evidence, it was his wife, and she was having an affair. The daughter, we see that this is more overt, and he becomes much more essentially of an arsehole. So, guys, that's a really interesting challenge, and I've got to say, for David Tennant, he does a really, really good villain. I've seen him in a few things where he does a good villain, and you've got to remember he's a trained actor as well. And I'm seeing a lot of criticism about Gracepoint when it first came out because it was so close to board church. But we need to remember that streaming and internet wasn't as common. Um, it was taking a risk. A lot of TV shows and media and YouTube take risks all the time. Sometimes they work, sometimes they don't. And that's the thing, it's all of that about that risk taking behavior. And it is a calculated risk going, well, will this translate over to a British audience, an American, or Australian audience? Now, as I said, they don't essentially have that luxury because of streaming, because of the internet as well. Um, the other thing about David Tennant, personally, I want to say is that I'm seeing a lot of speculation around him at the moment as he's come back to Doctor Who. He's coming into a lot more social media. We all know he doesn't have it, but George is featuring a lot more and stuff about his dress. And guys, his dress pre being married has always been very flamboyant as well. Guys, we don't know what the dress code is for those award ceremonies. And people were asking where his wife might not have been invited to the award ceremonies, and that's work for them. So it might be, hey, I've got the kids, you go and have fun, um, type of thing. So, guys, I'm seeing a lot of speculation about that, and that doesn't help them at all. And, guys, you can be completely straight and dress however you want. It doesn't signal your sexuality or preferences at all. And so, guys, I actually find that really bloody incredibly creepy. And guys, I know I haven't updated the media channel in a while because this is a bit of a passion project of mine where the NDIS channel and the podcast is essentially work for me. So, guys, if you can like, share, subscribe, and suggest any content you want me to watch down below as well. So, I'm a bit of a David Tennant fan. I discovered him in Doctor Who, recently watched Recovery, um, Broadchurch, Gracepoint. I'm currently looking at watching Eddington and Einstein, but me working in pharmacy for so long, Eddington is a bit of a controversial figure in modern day science because of the way he actually treated one of his undergrad students and PhD students as well. We do think that was a suppression of what they talk about in the film, that he couldn't come to accept that he essentially was queer. So, guys, I'm trying to find that on a streaming service or on a DVD as well. And there's also some things that I've seen him in bit parts where he was a day to day actor, where I go, is that, isn't? And so you jump online and it is him as well. And so, guys, people are saying as well that why doesn't he do the romantic lead? Well, he has tried but not succeeded. So he has found his niche in being the quirky sidekick or the villain or reinventing the Shakespearean or the very serious roles with a bit of heart as well. So we see that he tried to do the romantic lead in Runaway Bride, which I haven't actually properly watched yet, Nativity, which, yeah, and then HBO's Camping, as well as The Learners. And there's actually a lot, if you're at home during the day and watch the midday movie, there's actually a lot of things that he did that went straight to TV for BBC as well. And you can actually date them from when he was doing Doctor Who, would have a break, Doctor Who would be on a filming break, and all the others would be doing a project. So, guys, again, if you can like, share, subscribe, and comment. I'll see you guys in the next video.